Tonight's exclusive broadcast of the Oklahoma 5A High School Football Championship is brought to you by Arby's Roast Beef Restaurant. Taste the Arby's difference. By DuPont Clean for reliable broadleaf weed control. By Powers Autoplex, where cars cost less on the Broadway extension. And by your local Pepsi-Cola bottler, Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Live from Stillwater on a perfect night for football, it's 5A state championship time between undefeated Putnam City North at 13-0 and 8-5 Westmoore. Hello, everyone. I'm Dean Blevins along with Mick Cornett. Mick, and listening to those numbers I just reeled off, you would think that maybe we would not have a game here tonight, but I don't think that will be the case.
Well, Westmoore for a long time this season didn't look like a team that would be playing in the state finals. But once they qualified, and they were the last team to get in their district, they've knocked off the number 9 team in the state, Norman, the number 3 team in the state, Midwest City, and the number 2 team in the state, Tulsa Union. Now they play the number 1 team in the state. You're not going to tell them they don't have a chance.
That is right. We are looking forward to tonight's ball game. Hope you are as well. And down on the sideline is joining us. Joining us now is our own Myron Patton. Myron, come in.
All right, thanks, Dean. Of course, Mick, you were talking about Westmoore. They're very loose and very confident. They were getting fired up before the game. Of course, that confidence comes from their 6-game winning streak. Putnam North, more business-like. Of course, they were here last year, and that probably has a lot to do with that. I talked to Lawton Ike head coach Tim Reynolds before the teams came out. He's played both these ball clubs. He thinks North will win because they've got a better defense. He predicts a score maybe 21-10.
All right, thank you. Only time will tell. He should know his club has played well the last couple of years. We'll take a break, and these teams each have outstanding players. When we come back, you'll meet both of them after this. And welcome back to Stillwater. Dean Blevins and Mick Cornett, 11 minutes and 30 seconds away from kickoff in the state 5A final football game between Putnam City North and Westmoore. Mick, we were just told Brock Harleyman, the fine receiver for Putnam City North, broke an ankle in pregame warm-up.
Hard to believe, and what a bad break right before we get ready to start. Now we're pausing for a moment of prayer.
Each of these teams have great players, Mick. I think that, but each certainly is led by one player. For Putnam City North, quarterback Trent Fisher, an outstanding talent. Trent is a senior, 5'11", 175-pounder. He can run, he can pass, he can punt, he can kick, he can do about anything. Here he is in pregame warm-ups. Statistically, the one thing that jumps out at you as we take a look at the numbers, 25-2 as a starting quarterback the last couple of years, passing for almost 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. There you see his rushing numbers. Quarterback, free safety, place kicker. He does a little bit of everything for Mike Little, who calls him the best all-around player he's ever had, and Little's had some dandies.
Well, he has. He's the best offensive player they got, the best defensive player they got. He kicks. He'd probably return kicks, but they just got to get him off the field so he can rest at some point.
How about the Jaguars? They have an all-around outstanding player as well.
Well, the longer this season goes on, the more excited people get about Jeff Frazier. Take a look at this guy, number 20, and he basically is the Westmoore offense. Sure, they've got a passing offense, and they've got it set up, but when they need the yardage, they're going to go to Jeff Frazier. 1,369 yards rushing this year. Look at that average. 6.3 yards a carry. Now, Jeff will be the first to tell you he's got a great offensive line, and he does. But at 6'2", 210, and speed to burn, he's a good reason that Westmoore is here in the finals, and they wouldn't be here tonight without him.
Should have a great ball game. Stay with us. We'll take a break and come back and give you starting lineups after this. And live from Lewis Field in Stillwater, 7 minutes until kickoff in the 5A state championship football game. We mentioned Trent Fisher a moment ago, but he has some offensive teammates, Mick, that can play pretty well. The starting lineup for Putnam City North on offense.
Putnam City North led offensively by quarterback Trent Fisher, number 15. The tailback, number 32, Jake Jensen. Fullback, 34, Greg Halsey. The receivers split in, number 17, Craig Schleshman. The flanker, number 82, Seth Gregory. The tight end, Chris Griffin. In the offensive line, the center, Mike Helton, number 56. The guards, Joe Strike, number 74, and Andy Wood, number 75. And the tackles, Jason Bonnick and Chase McCubbin.
And that Putnam City North offensive unit has averaged 27 points a game. Now, on defense, you don't want to pass too much against the Panthers. They've got 19 interceptions this season.
They do. They play a base 5-2 defense, and here are the Panthers looking at you defensively.
For the Panthers defensively, nose guard, Bo Winneberger, number 38. The tackles, number 46, Tyson Bullard, and 78, Chase McCubbin. The defensive ends, Heath Satterfield, number 40, and Jason Guy, number 36. The linebackers, number 45, Scott Sedbrook, and Chip Snyder, number 43. The secondary for North, at cornerback, Phil Webb, number 35, and Jack West, number 28. And the safeties, at strong safety, Troy Hooter, and Fisher is the free safety.
And on defense, North average is just giving up 11 yards, and people don't even get 200 yards a game on them. They're a tough unit.
They are. As for Westmoore offensively, a team that starts out in the run and shoot, they decide mid-season to say, no, let's change offenses, let's go another direction, and here are the other guys that go that direction for Westmoore offensively.
For Westmoore offensively, the quarterback, number 15, Brian Newberry. Of course, the tailback, number 20, Jeff Frazier. The A-back, D. DeBro, number 23. The receivers, the split end, number 89, Chris Bradshaw. The Z-back, or the flanker, is Jason Crowley, number 42. The tight end, number 88, Denny Kennedy. And along the offensive line, the center, number 75, Bill Gann. Guards, Gary Warren and Rusty Goodman. And the tackles, number 65, Chad Dutton, and number 52, Brad Smith.
Westmore's going to have to run the football, and they do a pretty good job. 5.6 yards every time they rush. Not too bad.
Westmoore defensively, a very aggressive group that rushes the football very, very well, and they will have to play aggressive because North diversifies its offense. Let's take a look at Westmoore defensively.
Defensively for the Jaguars, the nose guard, number 58, Kyle Wolf. The tackles, number 64, Chad Pumphrey, and number 88, Denny Kennedy. The ends, number 82, Derek Elmore, and Lewis Griffin. The linebackers, a couple of juniors, number 50, Brandon Ross, and number 44, Chad Groover. And in the secondary, the cornerbacks, D. DeBro, number 23, Frazier on one corner, number 20, and the monster man, Ryan Wickersham, number 30, and quarterback Brian Newberry, also the free safety, number 15.
And these guys haven't lost a game since October 18th when they played Putnam North.
Kickoff 3 minutes away. Players coming onto the field as we speak. Stay with us. We'll be back for the kickoff in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your welcome to the
And welcome back to Stillwater, Oklahoma. There's a shot of the Putnam North followers, Nick, and a lot of them up from Oklahoma City. And we feel for our brethren over in Tulsa, but this part of the state kind of likes this matchup tonight.
Well, this is definitely an Oklahoma City high school wonderland. Two schools from the Oklahoma City area playing for the state championship. Let's go quickly down to Myron Patton. Myron?
Dean? Yeah, guys, I got an update on Brock Holland's injury. It's not broken. He was dodging a cheerleader, and they think it's just a bad sprain, but he is not going to play tonight. They're going to ice it down and take him into the doctor tomorrow. Bad break.
All righty.
Certainly is a bad break for a young man who's playing one of the biggest games of his life.
No question about that. Seth Gregory, number 82, a 160-pound junior, will be starting now for North offensively, Mick, as North will kick off.
Heath Satterfield will be doing the kicking chores for Putnam City North. You see him gathering there. They will do that before every kickoff just to keep the other team off guard. And maybe, just maybe, they would try an onside kick from this position, but it would surprise a lot of people if they did it here to start off the 5A finals. Deep for Westmoore is one of the best kickoff return men you will ever see. Jeff Frazier averages 38 yards per return. He's back on the near side, and that's D. DeBro on the far side of the field. Keith Satterfield will get the 5A state championship underway, and they kick it to Frazier at the 4. Nice run back across the 25-yard line, and Westmoore will start the game offensively. There you see Jeff Frazier, number 20. They figure, Dean, to establish the run early, and Putnam North, conversely, would like to stop them from establishing the run early.
Well, Westmoore earlier in the season, Nick, threw the ball 15 to up to 37 times a game, but they decided to pump it to Frazier, and he's been getting the pigskin a lot. They'll do it from several different formations, mostly from the one back, which they start in here.
There you see a very strange running offense. D. DeBro going in motion behind Brian Newberry, who wants to pass on first down. He's got Frazier out of the backfield. First down. Tracked neat and knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field. Is that Trent Fisher, Dean, that ran him down? It is. What a start for Westmoore.
Wonderful call by Westmoore. A very high percentage pass as you watch Newberry, a rangy 6'3", 6'4" type quarterback, dump it off over the middle. And what better position for Westmoore than to give it to the outstanding running back in open field. He runs away from him, and Trent Fisher, who has outstanding speed, runs down the speedster in a big play to start it off.
Well, I told you they were going to establish the run, Dean. So they come out with a 35-yard pass on first down. Now Westmoore at the 39-yard line in Putnam City North territory.
Trips right, 3 wide receivers with the one back.
That's Bradshaw that caught the pass, and he's almost down to the 30-yard line. Caught it the 31, a gain of 8.
There you go, Mick. Nice homework. Pass, huh? You told me you studied for months for this game.
Air Jaguars. Chris Bradshaw, number 89, 5'10", 175-pound junior. He is a big play kind of guy.
Newberry coming in from the season 185 out of 211 for 1,422 yards.
Second and short for Westmoore. We've just started. No score. They're at the 31-yard line on second down. Frazier. First down.
Well, that's what Westmoore does better than anyone around, Nick. They are just getting in the one back set. They turn around and hand it, nothing fancy, to number 20. That's just a slant play.
He's got several options, doesn't he, Dean, about which hole he can go to here?
Well, he does. He just says he just wants his line to give him a little bit of a crack, and they do right here, and he flat out runs them around the corner, uses great speed, acceleration, and moves the chains, and Westmoore on the move at the 22.
Keith Satterfield, the fine defensive end for Putnam North, made that stop. It's 1st and 10 Westmoore at the 22-yard line. Frazier. A gain of close to 5 yards. They will knock him down between the 17 and 18-yard line.
Nice job offensively by the Jaguars in the line. Probably Goodman. We showed you the starters a while ago. He's number 79. Penalty on this play, but keep an eye on him. He's a fine offensive lineman.
Holding against Westmoore. The only thing that stopped them so far. Dean with a fine officiating crew tonight.
There you see him.
Holding, 10-yard penalty on the offense. Still first down.
I like the back judge there. Mark Comey. I went to the Soviet Union with him a couple of years ago. Make all the rest of them solid as well, or they would not be in this ball game.
That'll bring up first down and 15. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
We didn't just go on a sightseeing tour. It was at the Sooner Stampede. Remember a few years ago when the squads went over there and played before the Soviets?
Trip receivers right for Brian Newberry. Frazier, the lone setback, who throws quickly to D. DeBro.
Nice job that time by Chip Snyder, the 5'11 junior, number 43 for Putnam City North, and staying in his position at linebacker. DeBro, though, a fine athlete.
Jason Guy in on the stop for the Panthers. There you see D. DeBro, who got that haircut just for this ball game this week. 5'7", 165 pounds.
Quick young man, strong. They use him a lot on reverses.
Bradshaw and Crowley and DeBro are all split wide left. Newberry throwing deep for Bradshaw.
Incomplete. Busted coverage there. Jason Crawley, number 42, comes in motion, and there's a busted coverage by Putnam North. Newberry, perfect execution. Unable to hang on to it, or Westmoore would be on the board.
It is 3rd down and 10 for Westmoore at the 22-yard line. If you just joined us, there is no score. 9:23 to play in the first quarter.
Newberry on target on all 4 tosses.
Throwing well. Trip receivers right this time. That's Chris Gillespie at the bottom of your screen. Chris Long went in motion. Draw play to Frazier. He stopped at the 15-yard line by number 45, Scott Sedbrook.
What do you do, Mick? You got a 4th and short. Although Westmoore is comfortable with their kicker, Chad Manley, and it looks like they will bring him on. They're a team that has not converted a lot of field goals. They do decide to go for the kick, apparently.
Well, coaches love to get that lead. I think they feel a lot better about themselves when they got the higher score on the scoreboard. Chad Manley has 4 field goals on the year. This one will be a 31-yarder. It is wide right. So after moving the ball well, a holding penalty stalled them. A drop pass crippled them, and Putnam North will take over. And we are back to live action. While we were gone, Jake Jensen carried a 6-yard run for Putnam North. However, there was a penalty holding against Putnam City North, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st down and 14 from their own 16.
And let's take a look at the play that we missed while gone. The pitch sweep, holding the call, and it will be brought back and negates a nice 6-yard pickup. But North has to feel fortunate to have escaped the first 7 minutes of this ball game without giving up points to Westmoore.
Fisher wants to throw on 1st down. Nice catch. Is that the big tight end? It is. Chris Griffin going across the middle. He's close to the 25-yard line. Gain of 9.
Nice protection. Good shot here. Mike Health in the center. The rest of the offensive linemen who give a lot of time here to Trent Fisher, bouncing around on those feet, finds Chris Griffin. Watch the catch. Nice snag.
16th catch of the year for Griffin. 6'4", 205. Nice prospect. I formation for Putnam North. 2nd down and 5. Jensen. Across the 25 will give him a yard. Nothing more. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Brandon Ross, number 50, on the stop for the Jaguars. Putnam North likes to run that counter trap a lot, and you've probably seen it in the NFL a bunch. Washington Redskins run that very, very well. Pull the offside guard and tackle.
Seth Gregory checks into the ball game for the Panthers. 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score. Fisher overthrows Gregory.
Good job that time by the defensive end from Westmoore. The most dangerous thing about Trent Fisher is when he gets out on the corner around the end and he has the option to turn it up or to throw it. That time the run was essentially taken away, and although he had a receiver open, he threw it on the run, threw it high, and forced to punt is North, and guess who's punting? Number 15.
Trent Fisher. Bradshaw and DeBro back for Westmoore. Ball snapped from the 26. He bobbles the snap, gets it off.
North fortunate there. North fortunate, actually, did not have points scored upon them on the first drive. Fisher recovers what appeared to be a good snap. Looked like he just dropped the punt. But as Fisher does so often, he turns bad things into good things. That turns out to be a good punt.
How about
for
47
North?
yards and no return? Not bad, huh? We got more of the 5A state championship coming up in a moment. No score, first quarter. And there you see the total yardage for the ball game. Westmoore had the ball, moved it well, but a penalty and a drop pass stopped them from getting any points on the board. North had to punt. Now Westmoore with its second possession of the ball game. They've got 1st and 10 at their own 27. 6:35 to play first quarter. Frazier has the football.
Boy, that's an outstanding run. Wow. Some guys make 5, 6-yarders look like all-star plays. That was as good as you could do with that type of play.
Well, when you have good blocking and a good running back, you've got an automatic offense, and that's what Westmoore has discovered here in the latter stages of this season. The ball is now at the 33-yard line, 2nd down and 4.
Well, Jeff Frazier is quick to give praise to his offensive linemen, Mick, all of whom returned from last year as starters. One of them in there is a junior, Brad Smith, number 52.
Lewis Griffin now in the ball game. He's one of the wide receivers, split out wide to the right, but it's irrelevant because Frazier takes the ball and is wrapped up quickly. Was that Bo Winneberger streaking into the backfield?
I think it was.
There's Jason Guy, number 36. And Tyson Bullard was the defender, I believe, that got to him first. Let's take a look here and see.
Jason Guy, Mick, is a name you'll call often tonight, number 36 in the maroon. There he is at the bottom of your screen, getting in there at the last minute. Nice play by Winneberger, as you call, number 38, the nose guard. But keep an eye on number 36, Jason Guy, defensive end, 6'2", 200-pound senior.
Tyson Bullard, the guy who wrapped him up early there from his right tackle spot. Frazier has it. Penalty marker down. Ball is carried across the 45. It is an apparent first down, but let's check out the infraction.
Penalty in the holding area. What yardage or what room there was that time for Frazier as he was handed the ball with a lot of daylight.
We got a hold on the offensive team.
That's our 3rd holding call of the ball game. 2 against Westmoore and 1 against Putnam North as Joe Strike goes into the ball game. He's an all-state candidate, 6'4", 250-pound senior. He starts on offense, plays a lot on defense, but is not a starter.
Tyson Bullard, number 46, defensive end, and also some tight end there for Mike Little, limps off. Didn't look serious, but he did limp off.
Chase McCubbin checks out of the ball game. And into the secondary, Branson Washburn has checked into the ball game. It's 3rd down and 12. The ball is at the 24-yard line. They must get to the 36. Newberry to throw. For Griffin, threw behind him, incomplete.
Pretty good coverage that time by the North secondary. Frazier is such a dominant player. Anytime he's in the lineup, you just look for Westmoore to go to him. That time they were unable to find him. And Newberry off target. Really the first ball he's been off target on, Mick.
And now it's punt time for the Jaguars. Frazier gets off the punt.
Whoa!
A 36-yard punt taken by Chip Snyder with a fair catch at the 40.
Hey, nice math there, Mick. The guy hadn't even caught it. You're giving the yardage on him. It looked like, I kind of hollered in the middle of the kick. It looked like one of those that had a chance to boom had he gone ahead and turned it over. Wayne Estes, the coach of Westmoore today, was telling me as you watch Trent Fisher come off, or one of the North players, he was telling me that Frazier, obviously a great talent, but he doesn't like to practice punting. But the coach says, well, go kick it in the game anyways. Kick the 60-yard quick kick and has the capability of kicking 40, 45-yarders routinely.
He's a good one. They do like him as a punter. At the bottom of your screen, that's Jason Patrick. But the pitch is going to Jensen. Ball is loose. The officials signal that he was down. And he may have lost a yard. Let's call it a loss of 3 inches. 2nd down, 10 yards, 3 inches to go. 4:15 to play, first quarter, no score.
On the tackle, Chad Pumphrey, number 64, and keep an eye on him tonight. I think we'll like watching him. Really the ringleader of this defense. He'll be all over the field. They list him at 185 pounds, more like 170. He's number 64 in white.
Seth Gregory splits wide to the top of your screen, and that's Craig Schlesman at the bottom. He's the favorite receiver, and that's who Fisher's going for. He's got him complete. Schlesman trying to break free and gets up to the 47-yard line. He's short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Nice job that time by Fisher and North. 3-step drop. Watch him quickly. 1, 2, 3. Blitz on. Gets it off quickly as you call to his favorite receiver. Catches it short, picks up good yardage, and it brings up a 3rd and 3. can't get a sack on a blitz on a 3-step drop. Good job.
Patrick and Schlesman have switched sides in what would appear to be a running down for the Panthers. Now Patrick goes in motion. Jensen. I think he's got it. Where the official has his foot right now is a first down. It is a first down for the Panthers. They are just in Jaguar territory at the 49. And Dean, we talked about Jaguar. Now at Southern University, they call themselves the Jaguars. They don't like it when you call them the Jaguars.
I don't blame them.
But at Westmoore, the students want to be called Jaguars. I talked to some people in Miss Johnson's English class. They say it's correct.
They don't know. I know the girls you talk to. It's Jaguar.
Well, I had my wife look it up in the dictionary. She says it's Jaguar. But if the students want to be called Jaguars, so be it. Greg Hulsey got the carry that time. He may have picked up a yard off right tackle.
Ryan Wickersham in on that stop. The monster man. Pretty active player. He's a 6 foot, 170-pound junior, number 30. And there you see Hulsey, number 34, the fullback.
I said give him a yard. I was generous. Give him about 6 inches. Schlesman and Patrick are the wideouts. Play stopped before the snap.
We got a dead ball. Delay against the offense. 5 yards.
What a story. Whichever team wins, you've got one that's undefeated. What are they, number 11 in USA Today, Putnam North,
Yes.
second straight year. Mike Little, of course, looking for another state championship. On the other side, you have Westmoore, obviously now the Cinderella team after losing 5 games this season. But what a story that would be if they were to be able to come in and pull this upset off. And I don't know if you can even call it an upset. I think this game's a toss-up tonight.
Well, the way Westmore's playing, I wouldn't call him an underdog to anybody. Again, 2 wide receivers at second down and 15, 2:06 to play first quarter. Thrown incomplete by Fisher, and Dean, the last couple of passes he's thrown have not been close, and he let the 25-second clock expire just moments ago.
Well, that one slipped out of his hand. That's a tough pass, throwing full speed on the run left. He's done it for a couple of years for North effectively, but Brandon Ross, number 50, came on a blitz that time, a linebacker for Westmoore, and put a little pressure on Fisher, and I don't know if that was the only reason, but that one was high and untouchable.
Fisher's favorite receiver, Schlesman, is split wide to the left, and he is being guarded closely by Jeff Frazier, who backs up out of your picture. They fake the draw play, looking deep for Schlesman. Frazier defending. Incomplete.
Schlesman wanting an interference call, I believe, but no flag. Looked like that ball could have been caught by someone as Mike Little talks to Schlesman. And we'll take a look at it. And from this angle, this is the angle where the ball will be thrown.
There's Frazier.
Frazier in good defensive position, and if he's not going to be a great tailback in college, I guarantee you he can play defense. Looked like it could have been caught, Mick, and maybe like a fly ball that was misplayed.
Well, it's definitely not pass interference on the defense. Here's a punt from the 46-yard line. Fisher gets it off. Ball hops under DeBro. Did he touch it?
Well, his teammate thought he did.
Westmoore has down the football at the 17-yard line. They'll have 1st and 10 going from west to east here at Lewis Stadium in Stillwater.
Well, I tell you, this North team is very well coached. They're a good club, and here you see the punt, and I'll get back to that thought in a minute, and we'll see if he touches it here.
That's DeBro.
Not a good play. That ball was close enough that his teammate behind him had to go after it in a wise play.
Westmoore escapes, and they have 1st down. Let's call it their own 16-yard line. They don't have enough players, do they?
They got 2 tight ends, and they have 10 players on the field.
I kept looking for another wideout, and here he comes off the sideline.
Well, you're trying to call that formation, and it didn't look right, huh?
Yeah, something was wrong with that setup.
What I was going to say about North is they are a very, very well-coached team, but I've seen them punt the ball about 15 times this year, and I've never seen one where it was a good snap, Fisher catches it and gets off a punt. I mean, something funny happens every time.
Well, I tell you, one of the problems is that Trent Fisher has to practice his offense, his defense. When does he get a chance to practice his kicks? Now, usually if the kicker doesn't participate in the offense and defense, the kicker is able to go ahead and practice by himself off to the sidelines and get in 3 to 4 times the practice that Trent Fisher is able to get in. He's at a big disadvantage in that respect.
Well, he is also in excellent shape, Mick. It's really tough to do what he does, but the guy is in incredible shape, a great talent, but he's having to work too hard to get those punts off, is all I know.
The rush is coming in pretty hard. Westmoore blocked a punt last week. Derek Elmore got it. It went out of the end zone for a safety, the only safety the Jaguars have been able to pull off this year.
Well, in a game like this, which could be low scoring, a play or two in the kicking game could be the deciding play. Let's go down the field and Myron Patton.
Guys, that last timeout had to be called because Diga Brow was on the sideline. He had an equipment problem with his helmet, so Westmoore had to call a timeout.
Thank you, Myron. First down and 10 for Westmoore at the 16-yard line. They burned a timeout there on an equipment problem. Frazier has the ball across the 20. DeBro was also the player that let the punt slip under his hands. That clock indicates the time remaining in the first quarter, and Dean, this reminds me of last year's state championship game that you and I did from here. Again, there was no score in the first quarter in that game, and we expected it to be an offensive show.
That game, Lawton Eisenhower, there you see the total offensive yards for Jeff Frazier Jr. this year. But that game, Lawton Eisenhower, a dominant football team. I don't think either team really capable of blowing the other one out like we saw last year.
Trip receivers right. Frazier the lone setback behind Brian Newberry on 2nd and 6.
Wow, I tell you what, Newberry will come back to that play later in the game. He had a chance to get a bundle had he seen Chris Bradshaw. I believe that ball was intended for the inside receiver.
Crawley was the other receiver on that side of the field. Ball thrown behind him and short of Bradshaw. Bradshaw was able to get long earlier on Westmoore's first possession, but they were not able to complete the pass. It'll be 3rd down and 6. 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. No score in the 5A state championship game. That's Gillespie at the bottom of your screen. The throw complete to Griffin. First down, Jaguars.
Nice play, and that sort of resembles the run and shoot, which Wayne Estes says they did not run, although they have done some things that resemble the run and shoot. It's the quick 3-step drop they tried to play before. Watch Newberry. 1, 2, 3, gets it off. No chance for a sack, and he only needed 6 yards and picks up 8.
And Fisher was in there to make the tackle. He's awful close to the line of scrimmage for a safety. I guess when you have 3 receivers, you don't have any choice, do you?
Yeah.
There you see the first downs in the ball game. Westmoore with 3. You know, the first time these two teams played on October 18th, Westmoore dominated the first half. They're doing it again. Newberry throws. He's got Bradshaw. Very close to a first down.
Well, Mick, they have established the passing game.
They certainly have. You know, they told me they were going to have to pass to win, but we didn't know this was going to be Brigham Young. There you see the pass to Bradshaw. Glad to see him come back and make a reception after missing that one deep while ago.
I think you're going to have to see the corners adjust and come up a little bit for North, or Newberry is going to have some easy pickings on the sides.
Oh, we got a great game coming up. No score in Stillwater between Putnam North and Westmoore. We'll be back with the second quarter after this timeout. Jeff Frazier and the Westmoore Jaguars are moving the football again. They have 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Newberry dumps off to Griffin. He's got the ball on the first down. Lewis Griffin, 6'2", 245, a senior.
Hey, this is a great job by Newberry. He's looking for his wide receiver on the right. 1, 2, 3 again, the quick drop. He checks off. He's not open, so he comes back to Griffin. This guy's a player, 6'2", 245. Really about as talented as anybody on the field physically, and a great play for Westmoore.
And how about that camera work? That was beautiful. First down and 10 from the 32-yard line for Westmoore. Frazier has it. Knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Gain of 5. Yeah, I don't think yet tonight has Jeff Frazier been tackled by one guy. And Dean, the first quarter stats are out.
There you see the numbers. The Jaguars dominating. There you see them statistically 73 and 28 in passing and rushing. Time of possession over 7 minutes. But 0-0 as Westmoore missed an opportunity by dropping what looked to be a touchdown pass and then missing a chip shot field goal.
2nd and 5, no score, early second quarter. Pass is complete to Gillespie. Close to a first down, inside the 25. Let's see where they mark it. At about the 24-yard line, which will bring up 3rd and a short 2.
Here's the high percentage short passing game, just a little stop route out there. Looks like the corners are adjusting, playing a little tighter. I believe that's Phil Webb on the corner, but still giving up some valuable yardage. Big play here, 3rd and 2.
Bradshaw. Pass interference has been called. Phil Webb's not going to like it. What they did was try to show the play that they just ran and send him deep, and he bumped him.
Well, I tell you what, not to belabor the point, but they are not establishing the run. They are really putting it up.
Yeah, defensive pass interference against the defensive team. Offensive pass, yeah.
I don't know, Mick, if Westmore's coming in having that much respect for North defensively, or just saying we're going to air it out. We're going to do a little. We're going to trick them a little bit, but it's working. They're playing well. On 3rd and short, they go up top, and the bump is called.
The bump was so early you couldn't tell if it was a catchable ball or not. I don't think it would have been, but you've got to give the offensive team the benefit of the doubt when the bump comes that close to the time the ball was released.
Might have been uncatchable.
Dwight McFadden, he's at USC.
He's on the West Coast.
Jeff Frazier has it up the middle.
Putnam North said I saw enough of McFadden last year.
Nice hole there, opened up the middle by center Bill Gann. $10:20 to play and counting, second quarter, no score in the 5A state championship game from Stillwater. Westmoore and Putnam City North.
Sound like the Atlanta Braves are here.
Frazier trying to get outside and run down from behind.
Well, you know, you've got to have confidence in your speed when you bring it back that deep. I mean, most players would go down the line of scrimmage and go ahead and get what they can, but Frazier dips that ball. Watch him come back here.
Frazier doesn't lack for confidence, and with good reason.
Well, he's a good 100-meter man. Came in second in the 200-meter last year. Runs a 48.5 400-meter. Watch him turn that up and almost gets around the corner.
Keith Satterfield and Trent Fisher came all the way from his safety spot to get credit for that tackle. The officials have stopped play for an unknown reason, at least unknown to me. I assume they know why they did. Official timeout.
Westmoore wanting to punch this one in, missing that earlier opportunity. Another big play here, 3rd and 4 from the 7.
Pass was intended for Griffin, thrown low. He was well covered.
When you're down this close to the goal line, you don't have as much room. Therefore, the secondary up a little closer. This time, Chad Hooter, number 44 there, also has some help from a friend. That ball low and incomplete, and Westmoore will try its second field goal of the game.
Would have taken a perfectly thrown ball, but he was open momentarily. Chad Manley will try a 24-yard field goal to give Westmoore the lead. It's no good. Wide to the right.
Gotta hurt.
We'll be back after this message. 9:47 to play second quarter. No score for the state championship. Number 19, Mike Baldwin, and number 62, Josh Poole, cheering on their Putnam North teammates. And Dean, it's all Westmoore.
It is in total yardage. Scoreboard, though, says 0-0, and you have to wonder how down Westmoore is about that, and can Putnam City North turn it around?
Westmoore has contained Trent Fisher offensively. He has yet to scramble out of the pocket.
And those are a couple of the keys to the game, containing those two stars.
Jensen. Close to the 25-yard line. Nice pickup. Almost 5 yards on the play. 9:34 and counting. Let's take a look at this play from our end zone camera. There you see Newberry, who's the quarterback, hit him first, and then D. DeBro comes in to level him off. 2nd down and 6. Schleshman is at the bottom of your screen. Fisher, options left, keeps. Hit hard by Lewis Griffin, but he has the first down.
Mick, we mentioned the keys to the game, and here they are. Westmoore must contain Trent Fisher. They've done that early, and they must establish a running game.
Well,
Just now doing that, picking up a first down. As for PC North, contain Jeff Frazier. Well, not so good so far and vary its offense. They certainly have done that.
They've not had much offense, but you're right, they have been very diversified when they've done so. Fisher hands off to Holsey, big hole. Look at the little guy go. .5'9", 175-pound Greg Holsey.
Right up the middle. He's a junior, and he has lots of daylight. Not stopped until Lewis Griffin, who made the big reception a while ago as tight end, or as a receiver, number 4, makes the stop.
First down and 10. North at its own 48-yard line. Officials stopped the play before the snap.
No wonder you looked at me strange a minute ago when I said that North was having success in varying its offense. I was thinking Westmoore, the other team that was able to throw it.
5-yard penalty.
Illegal procedure will be a 5-yard call against North. Here's that run by Holsey. Ooh, nice block there by Joe Strike. Did you see that to lift him through the hole? And there you see Jeff Frazier driving him back, and he finally gets some help from his buddies. 6 penalties thus far. Both of these teams had quite a few penalties in the semifinals last Saturday here. 1st and 15. Fisher to throw. Scott Schleshman.
Whoa! Frazier on the stick on Schleichman.
Big time hit there.
You know, some people were thinking that he may not be physical enough to play in the secondary. Well, his coach says, yes, he is. And watch here as you see the bootleg.
Was that Frazier on defense?
Oh, yeah, one of the most effective plays by Fisher and North of Schleichman. The tandem pair up for what appears to be a nice completion. And from behind, Jeff Frazier. Solid tackle, and that one's hard to hang on to.
Schleshman has very good hands.
I think Westmoore got to another level by doing several things. One of the things is moving Newberry and Frazier to the secondary.
Fisher to throw on 2nd and long. Intercepted. Wickersham. Penalty flags all over the field. But after the interception, it would appear. Ryan Wickersham with the big turnover on the tipped pass. Let's check out the yellow.
Well, I think it's going to be on Putnam City North and maybe on number 17. That's what Westmoore thinks.
We have a dead ball, personal foul against the red team, 15 yards.
That's what it was, and it really hurts because as that play developed, Mick, it looked like it was well conceived.
Let's see this play. It could be critical. Fisher was throwing on 2nd and 15.
Actually a good throw. Right in the pocket. Perfect shot, and it's intercepted Chris Griffin.
Chris Griffin was the intended receiver.
Yeah, and so instead of being a completion past midfield after the return and the penalty, Westmoore takes it over as Wickersham brings it back. The penalty tacked on. It's 1st and 10 from the 28. Big play.
7:32 and counting to go 2nd quarter. Illegal procedure about to be called against the Jaguars.
Well, this is when a team gets really frustrated.
Dead ball, false start against the offense, 5 yards.
Psychologically, very important here for Westmoore to come up with some points. And I would think with the lack of success, as you see Mike Little trying to figure it out on the sideline, that they
just
would
getting
likely not
anxious.
kick a field goal.
Their players just getting anxious here early. And there you see the false start. Looked like it was Brad Smith, number 52. It'll be 1st and 15 for Westmoore. Clock is moving. Now, some of you football fans may not be used to a clock moving after a penalty, but that's the case in high school sports. Jason Crawley in motion behind Newberry, who hands off to Frazier.
That's the way you have to stop a back like Frazier. String him out and gang tackle him, and that's what North did that time.
Scott Sedbrook in on the bottom of the tackle. 6 foot, 200-pound senior Scott Sedbrook, maybe the best tackler on the Putnam City North squad. 2nd down, 12, ball at the 30-yard line. If you just joined us, Westmoore has dominated, but there is no score. Newberry to throw. Does. He's got Kennedy. No flags.
Boy, that is a beautiful play. Well conceived, perfectly executed.
Denny Kennedy, 6'1", 220-pound senior, has just made a huge catch for the Jaguars. Credit Newberry.
Watch him hang on to it, Mick, here. You have to respect him as a runner. So the secondary reacts a little bit, and his receiver Kennedy comes open, hits him on the spot, and inside the 5 once again goes Westmoore.
And a good job by Westmoore's fine offensive line to not go downfield when it looked like Newberry may keep the run. 1st and goal. Frazier. Touchdown. Did you see what happened? Frazier gave the Desmond Howard Heisman pose, and they threw a flag.
Well, he's had a great second half of the year, but I think it's a little premature to be doing the
Have you already sent your vote in?
the Heisman. Yeah, I have.
You could have voted for Jeff Frazier.
Flag down in the end zone.
We have a dead ball, personal foul, Conning, Mr. White.
I thought it was going to be the Heisman foul, pose foul.
Just when you thought you'd seen everything in high school football, Jeff Frazier poses for the Heisman Trophy. Westmoore leads it 6-0. I assume the infraction will take place on the kick. Is that what the official said?
Yes.
And the extra point will take place from its normal position. And we'll see if Crowley can hit the extra point, or rather Manley. It's no good. Chad Manley missed the extra point. And with 5:54 to play in the second quarter, Westmoore leads Putnam City North 6-0 in the state championship. We are back to live action. 5:54 in the second quarter. And after the penalty, the ball will have to be kicked from the 25-yard line. There you see Frazier asking about his Heisman.
Well, apparently there's a concern on Wayne Estes' part as to what the actual call was.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, I know, but I'm wondering what Jeff Frazier's version was to the coach, who wants to know from the official. And I imagine that's what that explanation is about. Maybe Myron Patton can tell us more.
Westmoore will kick off. James Anderson with the ball at the 25. Schlesman and Jensen are back, and Jensen takes it at the 15. Breaks out close to the 40. Nice tackle by Chad Groover.
What's a nice open field tackle that time, because it looked like there was a hole there for him to run through. Let's go down to Myron and see what he can tell us about that penalty. Myron?
Well, guys, Jeff Frazier got that penalty for doing his little Heisman pose. Now, I don't know if you saw Coach Estes. He was not at all pleased with that penalty. He was arguing with the officials. Finally, though, they cleared it up, and now they're back to action.
Well, I don't blame him for arguing, but I'm not surprised it was thrown. Jensen, rather Moreland. Kenny Moreland checked in the game at tailback. First time we've seen him tonight. He will spell Jensen from time to time, and it is time. 4:16 to play.
Coming into the game there, you see the scoring drive, 4 plays, only 28 yards after the interception and penalty. Frazier with a touchdown run, but coming into the game, Mike Little felt the strength of his team. Besides Fisher, the offensive line, you got to think now maybe they'll try to take advantage of that and we'll see some running.
They give it to Holsey, who's fighting for a first down. He'll need a good mark to get it.
The tandem of junior linebackers, Brandon Ross and Chad Groover on the stop. There you see Wayne Estes. This guy, good coach, won the championship 77, Seminole. Out of coaching for a while, moved down to Dallas. Been back at it and doing a great job, and really has the Westmoore program in great shape. Told me today he's helping hire the junior high coaches. They run the same system all the way from junior high all the way through high school. That's one of the reasons for the success.
Fisher keeps on 3rd and short and has the first down. First down, Panthers at the Jaguar 49.
Well, North thinking right now, even though they've been dominated, first down's 8-4, and we saw the yardage a little bit earlier. If North could take this and get it in the end zone, kick the extra point, they conceivably could lead at halftime after being dominated.
Ball is given to Moreland up the middle, and he gets about 4 yards down to the 46-yard line. If you just joined us, Brock Hollyman of Putnam City North was injured in the pregame warm-up. He provides depth at the flanker position for the Panthers. They are pretty deep in that particular spot, but what a bad break for Brock Hollyman. You know, this ball game meant so much to him, and he's worked so hard to get here. The word we get from Myron Patton on the sidelines is that he will not play in this game. 2nd and 7. Moreland tackled in the backfield. It's like a big play by Brandon Ross. Take a look, Dean.
Well, they're pulling those guards, or the guard and the tackle on the offside, and it looked like it was a tremendous play defensively that time. Chad Pumphrey, outstanding speed. We mentioned he's undersized, but very, very quick. And Mick, I don't know about you, I'm still not used to seeing the coaches walk on the field. I love to see Michael Little out there trekking along the 42-yard line.
You know, some of these coaches call so many timeouts they might letter by the end of the year. They're out on the field so many times. Pumphrey, Dean, a great player on Westmoore's defensive front. 2nd on the team in solo tackles, 3rd on the team in assisted tackles. Usually linebackers are the guys that lead those statistics. Pumphrey right up there with them. Couple of timeouts for both teams. 3:05 to play, 2nd quarter. Westmoore leads it 6-0. They have dominated offensively in this ball game. They have missed a couple of field goals. They missed their extra point, and they dropped a pass that very well could have been caught for a touchdown. Putnam North is hanging tight. Let's take a look at what caused that 15-yard penalty after the final touchdown. There you see Jeff Frazier posing for the Heisman Trophy. If you're not a college football fan, a young man from Michigan named Desmond Howard did that about 2 weeks ago. He is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman, and Jeff Frazier has copied that move. And as a result, North has better field position than it would have had.
Big
3rd and 8.
Big play. That time they say, Fisher, we're going to make you make the play. And Trent brings it out on the option. Tough run. Derek Elmore on the stop, and Mick, it'll bring up a 4th and short. And we'll watch it one more time. When your back's to the wall, as North's is, you go to your money man. It's Fisher on the corner. He doesn't want to pitch it. I don't blame him. He goes down. He gains enough yardage to where it's only 4th and a yard and a half. Play of the game so far for North.
And they will go for it. Holsey made a great block on that last play. Kenny Moreland signaling for his crowd to quiet down so he can hear the snap count. Patrick in motion. Moreland.
I don't think he made it, and it sure looked like a hole was there. We'll see where they spot it.
Looked like he cut back and maybe shouldn't have.
I say he doesn't make it.
I think he's just got it.
Where'd they spot it? Boy, I tell you what, that gap was closed quickly by the secondary.
Take a look and see if he hadn't cut to his left at the last, if he might not have been able to pick up the first down more easily.
Great job by D. DeBro, number 23, on the corner.
Well, I know it's a lot easier from here than this from down there. Play looked a lot more well covered than I thought.
Oh, Mick. You're right, he made it by a hair. Wow.
Tough to call that one the other way when you're standing right there by the sidelines, you know.
Drive still alive, 2:18 remaining in the second quarter.
And Kenny Moreland, the backup tailback, has been in this whole drive as Mike Little gives Jake Jensen some rest.
North doing it the old-fashioned way. They're earning it on the ground. It's taken a while to do it.
Holsey. Big hole, but boy, it closed quickly. Kyle Wolf getting off the bottom of that pile. Denny Kennedy in there as well. It's a pickup of 2 or 3. Let's call it second down and 7. Ball at the 37-yard line. You see the clock at the lower right corner of your screen. That indicates the time left in the first half. Fisher to throw. Receiver fell down, and he would have been open.
North has had no luck throwing the football. That's the play specifically designed for Trent Fisher to throw to his buddy Schleichman, and Schleichman was open. As you mentioned, he fell, but I don't know if the ball would have been on target anyway. That's a play they've executed so well for so long.
That's a tough pass to throw, that out route that's that deep.
Well, it's a tough pass, but Trent Fisher can pull it off. Good pressure over there, but he's on the corner, turns his shoulders, and gets in good position, but no chance with Schleichman falling.
Third down and 7. If you watched Putnam North in this 5A game last year, you'll remember a great running back named Dustin Caldwell. We understand he's in the stands tonight. He's just finished redshirt season with the University of Oklahoma. Third down, Fisher wants to throw, and he's sacked by Griffin. Lewis Griffin with his 13th sack of the season.
Griffin has had an outstanding game. They made the big reception earlier, been in on several tackles so far, and Nick Fisher is not easy to grab in situations like this. A slippery character. Look at the strength of Griffin, 6'2", 245, and strength in the hands.
And it brings up 4th and long.
Well, and that loss was so far back that it forces a punt. Otherwise, you think if you pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 yards, you go ahead and go for it, but now North forced a punt.
D. DeBro, the lone back for Westmoore, who thinking they might fake it. DeBro's chasing it to the far side of the field, but he lets it go. This is going to be another great kick by Trent Fisher. 36 seconds left in the first half, and Westmoore will start at its own 1-foot line. 47-yard punt for Trent Fisher. No return.
Great job, but Westmoore doesn't really care at this point. They put no pressure on Fisher. They say, we'll take our lead and go to the halftime locker room. A great kick by Fisher, but Westmoore really playing well, and what a story.
You know, they can't even down it. You know, the quarterback can't even crouch down. It'll be a safety. They've got to run the quarterback sneak and get out to the line of scrimmage.
Looking forward to seeing what Wayne Estes says on the way to the halftime locker room. Believe Myron Patton will chat with the coach.
Quarterback sneak, moves it about 4 yards out. And, of course, Jerry Park will be coming to us at halftime. Our Liberty Bank and Trust halftime report. The first half is going to come to a close.
I got him. What camera you want?
Our score, Westmoore 6, Putnam City North 0.
Well, can North make the adjustments at halftime as you see the teams heading to the locker rooms? Westmoore dominating here in the first half and should have been ahead a lot more than they are at 6-0.
And I think Myron Patton is standing by with Wayne Estes.
Is that called Connie? Wouldn't that call it? Wouldn't they call it Connie?
Yeah. Okay. All right, I've got Coach Wayne Estes. Coach, you did not like the taunting call they made right in the second quarter.
Well, he shouldn't have done it. All he did was a Heisman deal, or, put that out there. He didn't put the ball in anybody's face, but that's over with. We've got to go on from there. We got to convert the third down, the fourth down, or kick the field goal. We've been down 3 times and got 6 points out of it, and we should have had 2 more, at least 2 field goals.
Everybody knew that Jeff Frazier would get the ball a lot, but you threw the ball with some success the first half.
Oh, we got great receivers, and Brian can throw the ball. So, you know, we've got to throw the ball because they've got a great defense and going to stop our running. They're taking our slant away from us, but we're going to throw the ball and loosen them up, and that'll open the run up.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Myron, thank you. Good to hear from the coach, and we will hear from Mike Little as the second half continues a little bit later. But right now, let's take a timeout with the halftime score. Westmoore 6, PC North nothing. And welcome back to Stillwater. Dean Blevins along with Mick Cornett, Myron Patton down on the sideline. We appreciate Jerry Park back with halftime highlights back in the studio, Mick. I was about to say a shocker. I don't know if you can call it a shocker because Westmore's played so well late in the season. They're winning 6-0. Let's take a look statistically, Mick, and see what you think. Here are the numbers.
Keep in mind, Putnam North has come from behind 5 times this year, but these numbers are not indicative of a good first half performance. Then you see the Jaguars leading in passing, rushing fairly equal. First downs, 8-5 Jaguars. The Panthers have had the ball more, surprisingly, and both teams have been stricken by penalties.
130 yards passing, and looking at the individual numbers passing, a great first half by Brian Newberry. 8 of 11, 2 of 8 for Fisher for only 16 yards. And the great running back at Westmoore, Jeff Frazier, has been held pretty much in check, but still he is obviously a real talent.
Well, his big play was that pass reception early on that got Westmoore some momentum early, and really Putnam North has never really had the momentum, I felt like, in the entire first half of play.
Mike Little will be coming out with his Putnam North team soon. Myron Patton will chat with him, but first let's take a timeout. We'll come back to Stillwater after this break. And welcome back to Stillwater. Myron Patton standing by with Putnam City North coach Mike Little. Myron?
All right, thanks, Dean. Coach, you're down 6 points, but you have to feel a little bit fortunate. We're deep in your territory several times.
Yeah, this has happened the same. The first game, you know, we were very fortunate we're not down more. They're getting off their blocks extremely quick. Their defense is, they're out quicking us. We're doing a lot of good things. We're going to have to get a little bit quicker. We got to make some more things happen, make a few more positive things. You know, we're going to really play better this half.
They threw the ball with some success the first half. Did that surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise us. I mean, they got some tall people out there, and they're going to attack. You know, we got some people not quite as tall, and it doesn't surprise us. I mean, it's an aspect of their game that puts a little pressure on us out there, but that's what it's about.
What was the mood of the team at halftime?
Well, you know, they're not, you know, I mean, they come in. We've been in these situations before. I think the kids will respond. They have before. You know, we just got to make things happen instead of sitting back and waiting for things.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All righty, Myron, thank you. And anyone who follows Oklahoma football knows that Mike Little is an outstanding high school coach, and we'll see if he can make some halftime adjustments. I know I certainly respect him, and I know other coaches around the state do as well.
Interesting, one thing he talked about how well Westmoore was playing, giving me the indication he didn't think his team was playing all that poorly, but they were getting outplayed. And that's got to be a little scary for a team that's 13-0, thinking he's getting outplayed by a team that's lost 5 games, and that he beat.
Right, and I think that he'll probably need his quarterback to step up and make the big plays. Trent Fisher, game in and game out this season, has done that this season and last year. He did not have a particularly strong game last year in the game we televised here from Lawton Eisenhower's game. There you see the season record, 13-0 of Coach Mike Little of Putnam North. But now is time for Trent Fisher to step up and to play well here in the second half. Give credit, though, to the Westmoore defense.
Well, Westmore's defense up front, I think Lewis Griffin, Chad Pumphrey, Denny Kennedy, Derek Elmore, Kyle Wolf, that entire starting front 5 has to be credited right now with that 0 that Putnam North has on the scoreboard. They have contained Trent Fisher for the most part, and they've done a good job on the 2 running backs, although they have had some success with Jensen and Hulsey. But like I mentioned a few moments ago, North has been behind 5 times this year, and they won, of course, every one of those 5 times.
Well, now, what's the other big statistic about teams that have played in rematches for title games? 12. This is the 13th.
This is the 13th time that teams have rematched in the state championship and had met earlier in the season, and every time the team that won earlier also won the state title.
Every time.
Every time.
Wow, unlucky 13 this time, huh?
Well,
Jeff Frazier.
Doesn't think so.
1 reception, 45 yards. You saw the numbers on his rushing totals in the first half. And it's time for football, Mixter.
James Anderson will be doing the kicking for Westmoore. Ball placed at the 40-yard line. Schleshman and Jake Jensen are deep for the Panthers. Jensen at the 4.
There's a hold.
Oh, the old kicking game. Jake Jensen took it at the 4. Before he was brought to the turf, he was almost to the 50.
What field position for Putnam City North. Jensen, Moreland, and Schleshman, 2 speedsters on the North team, second in the sprint relay last year in the state 5A meet, and watch the hole up the gut, and the ball will be brought out to midfield where Trent Fisher and company take it over.
1st and 10, Fisher has it.
Trap option down the line. I have a feeling the adjustments that have been made at halftime. We'll see if North can take advantage of what they perceive as holes maybe that they didn't take advantage of in the first half.
And I get some indication from the North offensive line down there that they're trying to hurry things up and quicken the pace.
Yeah.
Why would they be doing that?
Well, it was a quick first half. I think that they feel they need to get some momentum, maybe a little sluggish in the first half, change things up. They were defeated in the first half.
2nd and 6, and illegal procedure is going to be called on Putnam North.
There's that counter trap where they pull the offside guard and tackle. Wasn't able to develop.
Offensive line. 2nd down. 5 yards.
You know, these officials are not used to talking on television. You see the college and the NFL officials, they do it every week, but I think the officials are doing a great job of adjusting to television tonight. Watch Bonnick. I believe it's 76 there.
There they go. I was mentioning the offside guard and tackle. They were pulling from the offside, and you're right, the tackle was guilty of offside. 2nd and 11.
3 wide receivers for North.
Run design all the way. Quarterback draw.
Fisher into the secondary where Ryan Wickersham stops him, but not before. He's got a Panther first down. If you ran for a sandwich and just joined us after halftime, there's 10:46 to play in the 3rd quarter. North got a big kickoff return from Jake Jensen, and now they pounded out a first down, and they are working quickly.
Quarterback draw all the way. Nice job by Joe Strike, number 74. Fine offensive lineman.
Ball is given to Holsey up the middle, and he bangs around like a pinball and gets 4.
Intensity seems to be picking up a little bit for the Panthers.
Gain of about 3 for Holsey if they mark it. We're going to call it 2nd and a short 7. Jason Patrick splits wide right. Schleshman at the bottom of your screen. Fisher wants to throw. Changes his mind. And he's hauled down by Brandon Ross. He's got a short gain. North continues to move the ball quickly, and Denny Kennedy is going to have some attention, Dean. He's come up with a leg injury of some sort.
Kennedy in obvious pain, and you mentioned Fisher wanting to pass. That's what he was wanting Westmoore to think. He was wanting to run all the way. Had a quarterback draw called. We'll take a break. 3rd and 3 when we come back. Westmoore leading. 9:52 remaining 3rd quarter. 6-0.
Denny Kennedy has checked out of the game with an injury, and Chad Dutton has come in at right tackle in his spot. It's 3rd down and 3 for Putnam North at the 33-yard line. Jensen, first down. Nice blocking up front by the right side of the Putnam City North offensive line.
This is nothing but a toss sweep. You see Nebraska run it a lot. Nice job, opens up some holes. Mike Little tells me that he's no fool. He's going to copy teams that do things well in the college ranks defensively. He sort of likes Oklahoma's 5-2 style. He likes some of the things Florida State does offensively, the sprint draw, for example, and loves the toss sweep that Nebraska runs, and that's it right there.
Problem with equipment on one of the Westmoore players. I believe that's Ryan Wickersham. And there you see him working on the leg of Denny Kennedy.
Kennedy, a great athlete, catcher and baseball wrestler, 3rd in the state last year at 190 pounds.
We'll get an injury report on him soon. 1st and 10, Putnam North. This is their farthest penetration of the ball game. Jensen. Across the 20, pickup of 3. 9-10 and counting in the third quarter. North has been blanked this evening. Checking into the ball game for the Panthers is Seth Gregory. And after this play, we will check on the injury to Denny Kennedy. It's 2nd and 7. Jensen trying to get outside. He can't do it. Brandon Ross is in the backfield.
Boy, Ross has been everywhere. Really a pleasant surprise for Westmoore this season.
Let's go to Myron Patton.
All right, Dean, an update on Denny Kennedy. He sprained his left ankle. Doesn't appear to be too serious, so we're just going to tape it up, and he should be back in the ball game.
Great. Glad to hear that, Myron, and thanks for the report. It's 3rd down now and 8, and suddenly North is in a passing situation.
Could be, Mick, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would say they would throw, but they've run the quarterback draw effectively. If they can get 4 or 5 yards, I say they go for it on 4th. Reverse.
Schlesman has it. He's got blockers. He stepped out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Outstanding speed by Schlesman. It appears that the Jaguars had it defended fairly well. Into the bag of tricks. On the biggest game thus far for Putnam City North, they go to the reverse.
Lewis Griffin almost had him. Great open field running by Schlesman. There's Newberry missing him. Frazier can't get him, but it looks like he did get him out of bounds.
Schlesman may be 140 pounds, but we do know this pretty quick. Nice move there.
They brought him out of the game.
Big
It's
play.
1st and goal at the 5. Jensen, big hole.
Westmoore does a great job defensively of closing those holes quickly. You think of great college football teams, even high school teams defensively, when it appears a hole is there, before you know, think of Miami defensively. Looks like a hole's there. All of a sudden, you see 3 or 4 players coming from nowhere. Westmoore does that very, very well.
Well, the right side of Putnam City North's offensive line is huge. Joe Strike, the right guard, 6'4", 250. Jason Bonnick, the right tackle, 6'3", 325. 2nd and goal at the 2. Jensen. Touchdown.
Well, North comes out, gets the ball to start the half. They use a great kickoff return, get it at midfield, and take it the distance. 7:15 remaining third quarter, making to cap that drive. They do nothing fancy. 2nd and goal from the 2, and they knock it right up the middle.
Kind of a big kick. It's tied 6-6, and Trent Fisher is trying to try an extra point. It's good, and Putnam City North has taken the lead with 7:15 to play in the third quarter. We'll be back with some exciting football as these two teams contend for the 5A state championship.
And here's the touchdown that ties it. Watch the block by 34, the fullback Greg Halsey. Super lead block. Jake Jensen goes in, and the extra point will be good by Trent Fisher. And Putnam City North roars back. Mick taking the second half kickoff, lead 7-6, 7:15 remaining third quarter.
And you're exactly right about Halsey. He has blocked very, very well tonight. And Oklahoma is one of the few states that allows high school players to block below the waist if the ball has not crossed the line of scrimmage. And that enables a player like Halsey, who's not very big, to compete. Here's the kick. And it's taken by Frazier, rather. Frazier across the 45. How many guys does it take to bring him down?
I tell you what, I'm no Rhodes Scholar, but if I'm kicking off, I don't kick it to number 20. He's the best runner in this part of the country, apparently. We didn't know when we picked the top 10 list, but he obviously is.
Well, you're right on both counts. You are not a Rhodes Scholar, and he is a very good player. A 38-yard return. Dean, that's his average return for the season.
Exactly. Exactly. North took advantage of its return back to midfield. Frazier takes it out to the 46.5. Can Westmoore take advantage?
1st and 10 at their own 47.
What were your grades, by the way?
Frazier
To the 50. I think the key to the game right now, can Putnam North step up and stop Westmoore? They didn't do a very good job of it in the first half. They've seized momentum. Can they keep momentum right now?
6:28 and counting in the third quarter. Putnam City North leads Westmoore 7-6 in this 5A state championship game on 5 Alive television in Oklahoma City. Trip receivers to the right. Newberry has been playing great as the Westmoore quarterback. He wants to throw. Keeps it, and what a great job by nose guard Bo Winneberger. You know, Dean, he was a linebacker at the beginning of the year, but an injury to Matt Hine forced North to make some changes, and Winneberger has turned into a fine nose guard.
Well, he has, but that play actually made by Jason Guy, who has had just a standout season, Mick. And that time, I guess it was a quarterback draw all the way. Newberry goes back 5 steps. It looked like he was thinking quarterback draw. Whatever, 3rd and 7, big play. But you're right on Winneberger. He's had an outstanding season.
Officials say he did not get it off. Boy, this is going to be a costly penalty here.
And
well, they're pointing, saying it was motion. Perhaps it
False
was.
start.
Yes, it
5-yard
was.
penalty.
I erred.
Against
The
the
clock
offense.
was at 0, but I guess he just got it off, and they called illegal procedure against Westmoore. It's going to make it about 3rd and 13. Newberry threw for 130 yards in the first half alone. For the season, he's completed 49.8% of his passes. His average completion, 13 yards. He's had 12 interceptions on the year. This is a big down for he and Westmoore. He still has it. Dumps it off. And Frazier is stopped after a short gain.
boy, I like this offense, though. Although it is not successful that time, North does a good job. Really a diversified offense. Watch the fake reverse. Newberry comes back, fakes the reverse. This is running towards you, Frazier, faking the screen in the flat, middle screen. That one completed to Kennedy. Great job of defense, but I really do like the offense that Wayne Estes and company have installed.
Punting formation from the 48-yard line.
Shankish.
Fisher is back. He calls for a fair catch. Muffs the ball.
I believe
And
North
Putnam
recovered.
North
We have
recovered.
a penalty flag back at midfield.
There is a penalty marker down. And interesting to see Fisher back returning punts.
Well, I told you they're going to go to him the whole second half. I didn't know they'd have him running back kicks.
He may not come off the field again. Let's hear the call.
We have a legal use of the hands against the defense. Legal use of the hands against the defense. The loose ball play, it's a 10-yard penalty.
Okay, illegal use of the hands on the defense. Now, was that on the return or was that on the kick itself? They were not exactly clear at when the foul occurred. We'll let them sort it out.
It will be North's possession. 4:34 remaining third quarter. And we mentioned how important it would be. I believe it would be. As soon as I say that, the Westmoore side gets excited.
Well, a 10-yard penalty would give Westmoore a first down as they faced 4th and 8 on that punt. And what a big break for Westmoore.
Pardon me.
They're going to march it off, and unless he steps in correctly, it's going to be a first down, and it is. They're up to the 41 in Panther territory.
Big call.
4:34 to play, third quarter. Putnam City North leads 7-6. Westmoore is moving the football as they have done all night long. 3 wide receivers for the Jaguars. Frazier. Wrapped up by Sedbrook. Chip Snyder in there as well, and so is your man, Dean, Jason Guy.
Well, Jason Guy can flat out play, no question about that. You know, one of the games we caught late in the season was the arch rival game between West and North, and Guy had actually missed a practice that week and sat out. Looked as though it might really hurt North, but they were able to play well in the second half, beat Ben Roots and West as Frazier limps off.
Well, the hopes of Westmoore in this ball game are limping off the field. It's second down and 10, and the Jaguars are without the star player, Jeff Frazier, at least momentarily.
We will have an update on that injury very quickly.
Something tells me Myron Patton's on top of that one. DeBro is in at tailback. Newberry. Penalty marker down as Phil Webb, the left cornerback, comes up to tackle Newberry at the 27-yard line.
Phil Webb, 5'8", 160 maybe, and that guy, Newberry.
We got a holding penalty against the white team during the run.
Well, it'll be taken back, but the guy we were looking at, Newberry, is somewhere around 6'3", 6'4", and 195. And watch him turn up and go north and south here. A blitz is coming from Newberry's backside. He loves to run the football. This was not a designed draw, but he makes a great play out of it anyway. It'll be called back. Well, watch him lower the boom here.
Putnam North's defensive backs are not very big, but they do hit hard. Jack West, 140 pounds. Phil Webb, 160 pounds.
Against the white team. Hey, no.
Newberry there with some words with the officials, probably wanting clarification. Unsportsmanlike conduct, I believe, is the call. Well, how about this call? I don't know if our camera's wide enough to show where the ball is and where the first down marker is, but let's go down to Myron Patton for an injury report. Myron?
Guys, we got another twisted ankle down here, Jeff Frazier, but he's going to be back. You see him getting up right now, going back on the field. This is the state finals. He says he's not missing this game.
Well, he better run better than he's hobbling back on there to play. I mean, the guy's a talent. Watch him limp on at around the 35-yard line.
Well, that age-old question, at what percentage is a star player better than your substitute?
I wouldn't think it would be an injury, Mick, that you could do much damage to, but it doesn't look good just walking out there.
No, he doesn't, but would you put it past Jeff Frazier to be faking an injury and then turn it on?
Well, I would think so, but to anyone who would pose for a Heisman in the first half of a high school game, you got to wonder.
I'm ready for anything, okay? Did you know that a Jaguar and a Panther are almost the same thing?
I did not.
A jaguar if you want to go by how it's pronounced in the dictionary, is in fact a panther, a type of a panther.
Huh.
Stick with me, Dean. We'll learn lots.
There's that Rhodes Scholar coming in handy. Good ball game. 3:39 third quarter. PC North on top 7-6. Second and 10. Penalties have become a major factor in the ball game.
It's only second down and 33 for Westmoore. Make it second and 37. Pass is completed and across the 40-yard line and past the 45. I believe that's DeBro, and another penalty marker comes in.
We've had a lot of personal fouls called, and it's really important in a game like this with so much on the line, so much emotion riding, to be able to control yourself.
44 face mask.
Troy Hooter with the face mask call.
Against the defense. The 15-yard penalty.
And, of course, officials don't point out who makes calls in high schools, but we were able to overhear the official then telling the other official who the call was on. I'll see if we can pick it up. There you see Hooter, number 44, the left side of your screen.
Well, that's one way to turn a second and 37 into, what, only needing about 8? Third and 8, third and 7?
Well, we didn't have a perfect angle on it, but it didn't look like a face mask call, although his hand was in that area, but could have been.
Well, Mick, I kept an eye on Frazier that time, and he was not at the center of the play, but he was not moving well. We'll keep an eye on number 20 at tailback.
Gobs of penalties tonight. That pass is lateral. He's not going to get a chance, is he? Well, that's the biggest play of the night for the North defense, and that's 35, Phil Webb. What's he doing all the way in the backfield?
What play was well defended, and I was watching a couple of players hit one another. As you mentioned, Mick, that is a lateral, can be thrown downfield. North not fooled at all. And there are a couple of late hits on this after this play that could have been flagged. And these two teams playing in the same district. There you see one of them. Easily could have been a penalty on Brad Smith, number 52 of Westmoore.
3rd and 20 for Westmoore. They trail by a point in the third quarter. Pass is complete. Gillespie has it at the 36-yard line. What a catch and throw. Newberry's playing well, Dean.
What a heck of a toss here. Newberry shows it's one thing to dump a little three-step short stuff off. This one's a big-time throw. Tight spiral. Throws it on a line. Still 4th and 6, but that's a big-time throw.
I'll tell you, Newberry goes to a quarterback camp in the summer that Mike Little is one of the coaches.
Yeah.
He may have taught him to do that.
Well, Mike Little has coached several of these kids, and former Oklahoma assistant Jim Donnan, now the head coach at Marshall. He and Mike have had some camps in the past, and several of the kids, as we see, more yellow on the field. But Mike is really high on a lot of these Westmoore kids that go to that camp.
Well, probably not a major penalty, as they were punting anyway, and they could have even wanted that penalty called. I've always wondered about that.
Clock will start on the snap.
And they are punting immediately. Westmoore at the 42-yard line. Trent Fisher goes back to return the punt. The ball is booted from the 42. Fisher lets it go. It's out of here. North will take over at the 20. And Dean, I've always wondered, how can Jim Donnan teach passing? The guy never threw at Oklahoma.
Hey, Jim Donnan and his thundering herd are in the playoffs, and they are throwing for about, they've thrown for over 600 yards in a couple of games this season. So
No.
yes, they have.
Are
I didn't
you
say a
serious?
season. I said in a couple of, in each game they've thrown for over 600
right?
yards. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Putnam City North has come back. They've taken the lead. They've got the momentum, something they never had in the first half.
I think we'll have a great game down the stretch. We'll see what they can do with it. They have played well offensively, and they have stopped Westmoore. Can Jeff Frazier be a factor late in the game? We'll see when they get the ball back.
And North runs its first play from scrimmage. Jake Jensen carried around the left side. Gain of 4. 1 minute, 41 seconds, and counting in the third quarter. Very low-scoring defensive affair. When these two teams played on October 18th, the final score was 21-3 Putnam North. That game was played at Putnam City Stadium. Fisher has 3 wide receivers. Fisher still has it. First down.
What a defensive play by D. DeBro that time, and I don't know if it was intentional or not. He was maybe just making a collision, but watch the play here. A little counter as the option is eventually run by Trent Fisher, and daylight it appears, but look at 23 DeBro come in and just bang up the play.
And he didn't even have to make contact with Fisher. He threw another Panther into his way.
Looked like Fisher was going to run for a while.
It's 1st and 10. Hulsey. Not much.
PC North's game plan coming in, did a run at him, thinking the strength being in the offensive line, thought they'd mix it up a little bit, trying to get Trent Fisher on the corners. But I think that Westmoore has been defending North the way a lot of teams have lately, and that is to really play loose on the corners and contain Fisher.
2nd down 9. Panthers at their own 34.
Blitz.
Fisher keeps across the 35 to the 39-yard line. You get the impression this is Trent Fisher's game to win or lose?
Well, I do. You mentioned earlier he may not come off the field until the end of the ball game. I think you may be right, and he's been the focal point of most every play here in the third quarter. And Putnam City North has taken the lead 7-6. We'll take a timeout and come back for the exciting fourth quarter of the state 5A championship after this break.
12 minutes of football remain for the 5A state championship in 1991, and Putnam City North is clinging to a 7-6 lead. The first half was dominated by Westmoore. The second half, Trent Fisher led Putnam City North down the field for a touchdown. There you see an impressive passing attack by the Jaguars. Brian Newberry has had a splendid ball game. The Panthers have bounded back. They've had some good fullback success. And, of course, the tailbacks are doing well. The first down's now tied for the ball game. Just one turnover, and that was early. Possession about equal, but look at those penalties. 8 for each team. That's a tremendously high amount for teams that got this far. You would think the game would be played better from that standpoint. It's 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers at their own 39. Jensen has the football. First down. Let's go down to Myron Patton.
All right, Dean, I talked to Jeff Frazier a while ago. He said that his ankle is really bothering him. He's having trouble running on it. Coach Estes told him to sit out this series. He's going to let him decide whether or not he comes back. So he may not be back. We'll just have to wait and see.
Big blow for Westmoore if that indeed is the case, and he looked bad to me a while ago. I know he wants to play. It's not lack of effort.
Certainly not. First down and 10 for the Panthers. Jensen. He may go. No penalty flag. Jake Jensen has lit up the scoreboard. "57 yards for Jake Jensen, who scores his 20th touchdown of the year."
We'll talk about a big play. There you see Mike Little getting on. Was that Jensen?
I'm not sure.
He was talking about not taunting. There's been a little bit of that going on tonight, and an important extra point attempt coming up here by Fisher. He knocks it through, and Mick, 8 points is big at this point in light of the fact that you make the 2, you only tie, and Frazier out of the ball game. Here you see the replay. Watch Jensen. Pops it up the middle. Great blocking. Going to have 8 or 10 anyway. Pops it outside, and then it's down the boundary, and no one will catch it.
I can't help but wonder, Dean, if Jeff Frazier were healthy and on the field, if he couldn't have caught him. We'll be right back while you ponder that thought. Can it be a coincidence that Putnam City North is contained the entire night, but on the first series that Jeff Frazier is out with an injury, Jake Jensen turns the corner and outruns the Westmoore secondary for a 57-yard touchdown?
Well, Mick, I pondered the thought, but not very long. Frazier is a cornerback on the right side. I say he would have been a non-factor in that play. Perfect execution, great speed by Jake Jensen. He becomes a candidate for our player of the game. 12 carries, 88 yards.
And Jake Jensen returned a kickoff for a touchdown last year. Jake, did you start your video recorder before you came to the game? Are you going to be able to see that one later?
NCAA allow that?
I think so. As long as somebody doesn't buy it for him, I think it's okay.
We mentioned the yardage for Jensen. Frazier apparently out of the game. Tonight the numbers for Jeff, 12 attempts, 48 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 Heisman pose. Hope he's okay, though. Love to see him come back. Wouldn't that be a story?
And there you saw the drive for the Panthers. They lead 14-6, and of course in high school football, you can go for 2. Westmoore is a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away of tying up this game, and there is overtime in high school sports. Bradshaw is cut off by DeBro, who takes it at the 3. Still on his feet and up to the 29-yard line.
Well, Newberry's going to have some success in the air as he did in the first half. And I'll tell you what, I was so impressed with Lewis Griffin, number 4. There you see him on the left side of the screen walking onto the field. But if indeed Frazier is not in the second half, in this fourth quarter, I would think that you're going to need to see some throwing of the old pigskin by Newberry. Griffin could be a factor.
Well, no doubt Westmoore can throw the football. We've seen a bunch of that tonight. 11 minutes and counting remaining in the ball game. DeBro.
Mick, it is so much easier to throw the ball when you dictate when you will throw. How many times have you seen teams get in 2nd and 10, 3rd and 14, throw the ball unsuccessful, see your team get sacked? A lot easier when you're throwing it on 1st down when the defense is not ready, or 2nd and short.
Should Westmoore put Frazier in only as a decoy to help set up the passing game?
If he's hurt, they may not even want to do that. I would doubt they do that. I'm sure they will consider it.
Trip receivers to the right, 2nd down and 10. Going for Griffin. Overthrown. Well covered by the Panthers. Ball was late and a little high. 3rd down and 10.
Well, Newberry does go for Griffin, as we mentioned a minute ago. Watch him, great protection. Griffin over the middle as Newberry steps up into the pocket. Good coverage. Kind of a force that when you have that kind of athlete out there, you don't mind forcing them. Trips to the right.
Great catch by Gillespie at the 47-yard line. What a throw by Newberry.
Clutch play by Westmoore. Clutch play. 3rd and 10, you don't convert that, you have to punt it. No question, down 8, you're really in a bind. 3rd and long, Newberry back, sits in the pocket, again good protection, zips it across the middle, and that's a big 1st down.
Good job of Gillespie of finding the open spot in the defense, and it wasn't the prettiest spiral, but he delivered the ball there on time.
It was on target as well.
47-yard line of Westmoore. DeBro. Not much.
PC North defensively stopping the run has really been impressive here in the 2nd half.
They're going to give him a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 9 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Putnam City North leads Westmoore 14-6 after trailing at the halftime 6-0. Joe Strike comes in on defense for the Panthers. They fake the draw. Newberry still has it. Looking long for Gillespie.
And how big is the drop pass that would have been for a touchdown and the 2 missed field goals early in the game at this point? That is a potential 13 wasted points.
Well, the Westmoore coaches that I talked with at halftime felt like they could have, should have, you make that call, could have had 17 points in the 1st half and only led 6-0. Brian Newberry, what a big-time game, and this is the last high school game Brian Newberry will play. Going for Griffin. Great defensive play by Phil Webb.
Well, once again, Westmoore goes for Lewis, and they do it over the middle. They haven't been throwing on the flanks much. They're trying to go up the gut. That one a little bit underthrown, but Mick, as you called it, great defensive play.
Griffin would have had to know to adjust and to cut his route off a little bit earlier. He went a little deeper than Newberry intended, it looked like. There you see the punt, and again, Frazier's the punter, but he's not in the ball game.
Westmoore needs a bounce here, and they get it.
What a punt. Hey, why didn't he punt? 47-yard punt, no return.
.8:48 remaining in the ball game. Putnam City North leading 14-6. Stay with us. And a critical play defensively here coming up, Mick, by Putnam City North as the pass intended for Lewis Griffin.
And Phil Webb, who's only 5'8", 160 pounds, makes a great play and just tips the ball out of the way. But we're at that stage where every play's big now, and that's one of the big ones.
Well, I tell you what, though, Westmoore comes back and executes the punt. Critical play there as they pin North back inside the 5-yard line. 8:48 remaining.
North cannot stand a mistake now. 1st down at their own 5. Jensen. Not much for that Westmoore front's playing extremely well. Look at 64, Chad Pumphrey. 6 foot, 185-pound senior. 32 solo tackles, 69 assisted tackles this year coming into the ball game. Pretty good numbers. 8 minutes, 28 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Putnam City North leads, or 4th quarter. Putnam City North leads 14-6. 2nd and 9. Ball at the 6-yard line. Jensen. And closing off that hole quickly was Brian Newberry. They're marking it at the 12.
Newberry comes up from the free safety position. He has really played well defensively, and as we mentioned earlier, when Newberry and Frazier went over on the defensive side, Westmoore really improved as a unit.
North likes to run over that right side of its offensive line. Looked like Andy Wood had a good block there.
Westmoore won't have many more chances if they do not hold here.
Fisher still
Bootleg.
has it. Gillespie runs him down, but not before Trent Fisher picks up a key first down.
Well, North loves getting Fisher on the corner. Watch the fake toss sweep, puts it on the hip, and gets around the corner. And this guy has some speed too, Mick. 4.5 to 4.6, somewhere in that range. He tells me he will want to run and plans to run on the 4x100 meter relay team at North.
Great execution there.
Several speedsters there with Jensen, Moreland, Fleshman, and Fisher will probably be on that same relay team.
Jensen has it. Tripped up in the backfield. I believe that was Ryan Wickersham who came in there and tackled him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll call it no gain, 2nd down and 10. But the clock moving, and with 6 minutes and 52 seconds begins to be a factor.
And also, Mick, we're going to need to think about our players of the game. Arby's sponsoring one of our players of the game, and Powers Autoplex sponsoring the others. And Newberry certainly has to be a consideration for Westmoore.
2nd and 10. They give it to Halsey. Brandon Ross right there. He leads the team in solo tackles, assisted tackles, you name it. 6'1", 210-pound junior. He's played well tonight. 3rd down and 9. Clock working. 6 minutes, 13 seconds to play in the ball game. Putnam City North leading 14-6. If you just joined us, Jeff Frazier, the star Westmoore player, is out of the game with an injury. We may see him again. Fisher to throw. Decides to keep, and the look of the tackle had the look of a face mask penalty, but no yellow down on the field, and the officials were right there. You got to figure they had a good look at it.
Well, I tell you what, though, Mick, I'm really surprised here that Fisher goes out of bounds. 5:46 remaining in the game. The most important thing for the Jaguars is to not only stop the first down attempt here, or picking up the first down, but to stop the clock, and they stop both as Fisher dragged out of bounds on a legal tackle, forcing the punt with 5:46 remaining.
Ball will be snapped from the 21-yard line. 36-yard punt to DeBro. Excellent field position for Westmoore. They have 5 minutes and 35 seconds to play, and they have 54 yards to go.
Well, I watched Fisher after the punt. Nice punt, but he got hammered and knocked down, and you were right earlier at the beginning of the second half when you said he may not go out of the ball game. He has not yet.
First down and 10 for Westmoore. Long in motion. Newberry, short drop, throwing for Gillespie. Intercepted by Jack West.
West plays this one just right. Newberry going on top. Well covered, overthrows his intended receiver, and Jack West comes up with the biggest interception of his career.
And Jack West had an interception last week in the semifinals. You look at Jack West in street clothes, you would not think he's much of a football player. You'd be wrong. Not very big. Sometimes there's a lot more to a player. West, 5'10", 140.
North looks to run the clock out. Short yardage there. Let's go down to the field, and Myron Patton
Well, Dean, Jeff Frazier's been walking on the sideline for the last 10 minutes or so. He's got his helmet on. I believe he's going to go in on that last series, maybe for a play or two before the interception. I don't think you'll see him on defense, but a possibility you'll see him on offense.
All righty, thank you. I tell you what, he better hustle. He's going to get in there. 4:25 remaining. And Westmoore trailing by 8.
Second down and 8. That Arkansas slant defense has worked well for Westmoore tonight. Fisher has it. Tackled at the 29-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down play. Good tackle by Brandon Ross. Third down and 4. Jensen. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. And Westmoore is going to get the football back for one more shot.
Well, this would have done it, I think. If Jensen picks up this first down, and it appeared a hole might have been there, but it closed quickly as, again, Brandon Ross, who's had an outstanding game, closes quickly. And Jensen, who's approaching 100 yards, is pulled down. 4th and 2 at North punt. 3 minutes will be remaining when the punt will go off.
Well, Frazier is not in for a punt return. Of course, you wouldn't expect him to be. But with the injury is not allowing him to do that. DeBro and Bradshaw back. DeBro takes it, lets it bounce. He's got it at the 33. They've got a wall set up on this side. Now they've got a flag on this side. And I think that's Holsey who ran him out of bounds.
I believe that'll be a cliff, and that'll mean Westmoore will have to take it some 75 yards and make the two-point conversion to tie this one up with 2:48 remaining.
Nice tackle there by Rob Gardenhire.
On the receiving team. That's the flag.
You heard the call, number 43, Chris
We have
Long.
a clipping penalty.
Tabbed
The
for
white team on the
the
run
foul.
back. The 15-yard penalty from the 43-yard line.
So from the 43-yard line, you take back 15. Westmoore is going to be at the 28, 72 yards away from a potentially tying touchdown. Well, Dean, we wanted a ball game. We got it.
Yep, it's really panned out the way we kind of thought it would, that it would be a low-scoring ball game. More penalties than I expected. 170 yards marked off by the yellow stuff, 17 flags.
The official said it would be marked off from the 43. Evidently, it was marked off from the 33 because the ball has been placed back at the 18-yard line.
Farther than I thought, and instead of a 75-yard drive, it becomes an 82-yard drive.
2:48 to play.
Cornerback down.
Gillespie has the football and another penalty flag, and the Westmoore bench loves the call.
Troy Hooter, number 44, slipped on the play. Look for a moment. That one might go for some big yardage.
Let's check out this call.
44 face mask.
They're going to call a 15-yard face mask penalty on Troy Hooter.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Newberry with the quick out. Hooter is number 44 there on the left side of your screen. But it looks like Phil Webb is the one that had his hand on the face mask there, if that was indeed the call. The ball's at the 43-yard line. Newberry, short drop, throws to Crowley. Gang tackled by Heath Satterfield and Bo Winneberger.
Nice job back to the three-step drop short passing game as Westmoore realizing last chance here, but they're playing wisely, Mick. 2.5 remaining.
Nice tackle by Jack West there up close. It's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Offsides. 2nd and 15. 2:22 remaining. 2 timeouts left for Westmoore.
Well, Gillespie was running a flag route. There's no doubt about that.
Ball started against the white team. 5-yard penalty.
And the 18th penalty of this championship game. Really the only downer.
It'll make it 1st and 15. And Gillespie's now out of the game. That's Bradshaw at the top of your screen. Lewis Griffin also split out wide to the right as the officials have called timeout, and now they set the play clock. 2:19 and counting. Short drop. He's got Bradshaw. And Hooters got him at the 43. Nice pickup.
Well, the old theory of Mike Little's teams have always been they bend, but they do not break. Newberry, again, on target. I think this is the thing to do. I think you take the nickel and dime stuff, you take it down, you get your last shot or two. But the Panthers have been bending, but they've not been broken all year.
They're likely to pump that and go deep here pretty soon. Right now they're going deep, looking to try to beat Jack West again. And Chris Long not able to come up with it. We've got one more yellow flag. And Troy Hooter doesn't like the call. Illegal use of hands.
We have number 36, illegal use of the hands. On number 36, it's a 10-yard penalty.
I kind of like them telling us who made the infraction. It kind of lets people be responsible, doesn't it? Jason Guy tagged with that one. A minute 37 to play in the 5A state championship. That man's team is ahead 14-6. Westmoore threatening at the 33-yard line. Their star player is watching from the sidelines with an ankle injury. Hand off to DeBro. You start in August, you play 14 games, and you come down to the last 1 minute and 31 seconds of play to determine the 5A titleist.
Westmoore back on the ball, wasting no time, under a minute and a half remaining, and they get the snap off quickly.
Newberry forces it.
Boy, he does force that one. This is where it becomes much, much tougher, though, because they had less field to work with.
Good job by the receiver of coming back to get that ball. If he doesn't, it very likely could have been intercepted. Nice camera work there by our crew. Is that Kareem's camera, Dean?
Kareem's camera, I believe it was.
Second down and 10. I think that was Rogers' camera. Crowley.
Well, I tell you what, you just take the little stuff, because if you could complete it, one slip, one great move, you're in the end zone. Westmoore has done an outstanding job. They are making a march that would be an 82-yard drive with a chance to tie it up with a two-point conversion.
They've gone 76 yards on that possession and haven't hit pay dirt yet.
Chris Long on the reception.
It's first and goal at the 6. 1 minute, 16 seconds to play. They need a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie up the game and likely send it into the overtime playoff system. DeBro is the tailback. Newberry, touchdown!
What a drive by Westmoore. I mean, a team that loses 5 games, most teams quit. Why would we think they would be incapable of coming back?
Newberry keeps great athletic achievement right there. He beats Chip Snyder to the corner. Troy Hooter couldn't keep him out of the end zone, and pretty soon he was looking at Oklahoma State written in the end zone. It's 14-12. Westmoore has brought in Jeff Frazier into the ball game to try the two-point conversion. If they'd have written a story like this, we all wouldn't have believed it.
I tell you what, if Frazier's not capable of performing here, I think you do what you talked about earlier. Use him as a decoy. He obviously gets the respect as you see the Jaguars on the sideline.
Praying like they've never prayed before. A two-point conversion would tie up the game.
Great
Putnam
drive,
North
though.
leads 14-12.
What a drive. They take it 82 yards. They take the 10-yard stuff, the 8-yard, the 12-yard. They have the one clutch play over the middle where it's 3rd and 10 conversion. They move the chains, try to go deep a time or two, mix in a draw, still have one timeout remaining. Excellent job by Westmoore.
Reminds me of the Midwest City drive to win when Cale Gundy led them to a title. They did this exact same thing, and that was a winning touchdown. This one could tie.
2 tight ends, full house backfield.
Frazier. He caught it! He caught it! He caught it!
Unbelievable. Newberry throws it up where only one guy can catch it, and one guy caught it.
And no Heisman pose.
Pretty good jump for a guy on one ankle.
What a player.
Out of really the right halfback position is where he's lined up. Into the flat, all covered. Newberry, a perfect strike. That's the only place you can throw it. Throw it up, let it be a rebound, and Frazier goes up and grabs it, brings it down. Tie game. Could we be headed to overtime?
I want to buy a copy of the Westmoore highlights. Somebody's got to produce that videotape. We are tied at 14. There is 1 minute and 9 seconds to play in the ball game. And Westmoore deciding a lot of things here. Do you kick it deep? Do you squib it?
Oh, no. Kick it deep and play defense.
Jensen is on the near side. Schlesman is on the right side.
I say now you take it to overtime. If there's any way to do it, you're starting at 0.
James Anderson kicking off from the 40-yard line.
Westmoore excitedly has 12 players on the field. One of them scurries off, and we'll see the kickoff.
Schlesman at the 1. To the 20 and no more. I'm trying to think back, Dean. I remember an overtime game in 1977 between Putnam City and Putnam City West. And Mike Little was the coach of that Panther squad, which fell victim to Jerry Potter in overtime. And that was a battle of quarterbacks as well that night, with Kelly Phelps coming out on top. 1st and 10, Fisher to throw. He wants to throw to Jensen, who can't hang on.
Boy, I tell you what, Little and Fisher aren't sitting on it, are they? That's a risky pass. Perfectly thrown ball by Fisher. Actually just flat out dropped by Jake Jensen, who has had an outstanding game on the ground, almost 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns. This one's on target.
I've seen Mike Little's teams play for a long time, and they are anything but conservative.
How about Newberry? 15 of 23, 211 yards, 1 interception, and of course he scored the game-tying 2-point conversion.
Big story is Newberry tonight. Fisher hands off to Jensen.
I tell you what, though, at this point in the ball game, you go up top, you try to find the play. If it's not there, 30 seconds to go, you put it on the ground and you go to OT.
It's 3rd down and 7. If you've not seen an overtime game in high school, you are in for a treat. There's Wayne Estes. He sees the clock in regulation ticking down. North might try to do something here, thinking they showed run on the last play to set up a pass, and indeed they are going to throw. Schlesman unable to hang on, 4 seconds to play.
Well, I'm surprised again.
The overtime system in high school is not sudden death. Each team gets a possession from the 10-yard line.
Okay, interesting call here. You say, what's so interesting? 4 seconds to go. Well, several things. Do you get the ball and just run out the clock? Do you risk? I've told you it's a thrill a minute when Putnam City North punts. We know that Westmoore has been shown itself capable of blocking punts. You've got to use the 4 seconds up.
Yeah, you're going to throw long, but you better not get caught in the blitz real fast.
That's one way to run it out. And can he run 74 yards like he did against Putnam City West? Whoa. We're going to overtime.
We'll be right back with overtime for the 5A state championship. Putnam North and Westmoore, we don't have a winner yet. You know, Dean, I grabbed the rule book yesterday and I thought, well, just in case there's an overtime, I'm going to read the rule book on it and make sure we know exactly what's happening, thinking it was 1 in a million that it would actually happen. And here it is on page 76.
Incredible comeback by Westmoore to get it to this point. Give us the succinct version of what's going to happen.
It's tough to say quickly, but each team will get one possession starting at the 10-yard line of the opposing team. So they have 10 yards to go to score some points. They can kick a field goal, they can get a touchdown, they can kick an extra point, or they could go for 2. So you can end up with 3, 6, 7, 8, or actually 0 points on each possession. So once one team has had its shot, then the other team gets its turn, and they'll do it at the same end of the field, so everything would be the same. If they are tied after each team has had a possession, they'll do it again. And of course, in a playoff game not too long ago involving Watonga, they went 5 overtime periods.
Well, it's been a game of momentum changes. Westmoore has the momentum now. Let's take a look at some of the numbers that have gotten us this far. There you see a couple of people that have gotten you somewhere. I don't know why, but we'll see some numbers, though, because it has been an outstanding game. Clearly, at the beginning of the ball game, Westmoore had total control. Newberry was throwing the ball well. Frazier was having some success running the football, and they dominated the first half, but they weren't able to put the game away as I'm sure they thought they could. There's Wayne Estes talking to his club, and that club lost momentum in the third quarter. Mike Little came out, and his ball club put it on the ground. They stuck it to them, took the lead 14-6. Frazier goes out. You think the game's over. So what happens? There's around 2 minutes to go, and the ball's kicked deep into the territory of Westmoore, and they have to go 82 yards, and all they do, Mick, is go 82 yards and score the 2-point conversion, and there are the numbers that have gotten us thus far.
Well, you see Brian Newberry's story there on the upper right, and you see Jake Jensen's numbers. He's a bulk of that 240 yards rushing for the Panthers. First downs about even, turnovers are even, possession slightly to the Panthers, and look at those penalties. 25 penalties in a state championship game.
Well,
unbelievable.
That's the nasty thing. Now, I'm going to have to leave you here in a few minutes and go talk to one of the players of the game. We have 2 of them. It's a no-brainer. Newberry's got to be one of them. Who am I going to talk to in the other? What do you think? I think it's got to be Jensen or Fisher.
I like Jensen in a tough call.
I like Fisher in a tough call, and I say why. Nothing against Jensen. I think he has around 100 yards. He has the 2 touchdowns. But Fisher's a guy that he's finally left the field here in the second half to go over and talk to the club. He's been punting, he's been kicking, he's been playing quarterback. Statistically, he's not had that dominant of a night, but he's played defensively as well. You going to flip a coin?
I'll defer to you. I understand that Fisher's been out there on both sides of the ball an awful lot, and Jensen has not, and Fisher's had to take a lot of responsibility on the field. Let's see if we can listen in here. That's Jeff Frazier and head coach Wayne Estes.
You know, before the ball game, we visited with some of the offensive coaches, or all the coaches from Westmoore, and they were saying that Frazier is an incredible kid. You know, he makes 19 on his ACT test as a sophomore. He's a 3.5 plus student now. He has been nominated for some scholarship honors academically, and that he knows every play that the offensive line is supposed to execute. Not many players know. Many of the offensive linemen don't know it, much less everyone else, but he is a unique talent.
Now, this is a coin toss. If you just joined us, we are going to overtime.
I got to flip it, going again.
There's Kareem. See Kareem back there?
Red's got 4 timeouts, and the White's got, they've got 2 timeouts. Okay.
You get an extra timeout for the period.
He has called a football, is what he's called. You win the toss, young man. He wants defense. Which end of the football field do you want to play on, son?
I call one of them sir and one son.
Got more respect for Newberry.
Huh? I would too. Newberry 6'4".
Westmoore won the
He's
toss.
also our player of the game.
Westmoore won the toss. They want to defer. They want to be on defense first. That would give them the chance to know how many points they have to score to win the football game.
Go that way. All right. Thank you, son.
It is an advantage to go second, kind of like the home team in baseball. You get your first at bat, or get last at bat, so you know exactly what you have to do.
Well, all of a sudden, we were worried about filling from 9:30 to 10 had this game ended. No problem now. Just go to overtime.
we can handle anything. It's 14-14. The overtime system that is used in most states is about to start. If you've never seen it, it is a great way to break a tie. I personally would like to see the NFL go to this system because it takes the kickers out of the overtime period to some extent.
What are you doing? Whoa. We better down that mic and let me call off the assistant coaches for Westmoore before something said we don't want to have said. Everett Mahoney, Ty Prestige, and Todd Dilbeck. Dilbeck is a new offensive line coach, been there 2 years. Don Daniel, Jeff Adams, David Jones, Kerry Roberts, each has done an outstanding job in helping Wayne Estes at Westmoore. Mick on the other side, no question about Mike Little. There you see he and his staff, Scott Berger, Jerry Griffin, Justin Jackson, Larry May, J.D. Smith, Jim Taylor, Bob Wilson, and Mark Melton. Those guys put in a ton of time, and you talk about underappreciated. Many assistant coaches in high school and head coaches are.
And now Putnam City North is ready to take the field. Westmore's out there waiting for them. Here it is quickly. They'll have 4 downs from the 10-yard line. They can score as many points as they can in this one possession, whether that's a field goal, a touchdown, and whatever extra points they might be able to get. Then Westmoore will have its turn. Ball is fumbled but picked up by Jensen, and he crosses the 10-yard line. He got a little bit of yardage, but, you know, it's very dangerous because if you fumble and lose possession, your turn is over, and Westmoore could have kicked a field goal and won the game.
Defense wins this play is what you're saying, Mick. Not much for the offense here. And you know Little's wanting to get the ball in the hands of Trent Fisher. Let him be the key factor. Defensively, Wayne Estes has said, no, we're not. If we have the option, we're not going to let Fisher keep it.
Second down and goal at the 9.
That one batted down.
Great play by Ryan Wickersham.
Advantage quickly shifting to Westmoore.
I mentioned the last time there was a playoff that I can remember was 1977. As you watch the ball tipped by Wickersham, in that ball game, Scott Tinsley was the Putnam City West quarterback, and Kelly Phelps was the Putnam City quarterback. Those two teams from the same school district vied for the state title, and Phelps' team came out on top as Jerry Potter won his 3rd state championship.
Critical call here.
They've called timeout. Obviously, a big play. So obvious, I didn't even want to finish the sentence that I'd started.
Well, Mick, I think that, you know, we talk about wanting to get Fisher involved in them. You want to try to get him involved. His best play is a bootleg. Another play that he's really effective on is a quarterback draw or some type of creative scramble. Well, really, you're taken out of the quarterback draws and the creative scrambles by virtue of the fact that you're on the 9-yard line. Bootlegs, I guarantee you, that's what they're looking for. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jake Jensen involved in this play or a pass attempt. A pass attempt is very risky at this point. They're just laying it out on the line. Jensen gives them some plus yardage and a chance to score.
Well, Fisher will have some options, don't you feel?
I would think. I'm not certain, though. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Jake Jensen gets the football here. And Jensen gets it.
Woo! What a big defensive play by Brandon Ross.
What a defensive stand.
North moved the ball 5 inches in 4 downs and 3 downs, and now they will try a field goal, or at least apparently will try a field goal. Trent Fisher is the field goal kicker. The ball will be placed down at the 17-yard line, so it will be a 27-yard attempt. Keep in mind, these are college goalposts, 23 feet, 4 inches apart. Normal high school goalposts are regular 18-6, normal are 23-4. Fisher's kick is perfect.
Well, the guys in the truck just said we've got to know who the Putnam City North player of the game is. We know on the other side it's Newberry. I think after that field goal, that's another reason that Fisher is. But much more importantly in the scheme of things, what can Westmoore do? The game is theirs to win.
Well, obviously, if they go to the air, they risk an interception. And if Putnam North gets an interception, they would win immediately. Getting 3 points is big. It's not what you want, but it's big.
Frazier in the lineup.
DeBro on the A-back reverse. Ooh. You saw the flag as DeBro was run out of bounds. That play very effective last week in the semifinals against Union.
I tell you what, an offensive penalty would be very big, and it is a hold.
White team, 10-yard penalty.
Big call.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Oh, my. Still first down, but now the ball is at the 19-yard line. If they didn't advance it any further, it would be a 36-yard attempt to tie up the game and send it into another overtime. But right now, it's first down and goal at the 19.
Well, the one thing you don't want in a situation like that is a penalty.
But it's indicative of how this game's been played. Frazier moves over into a wideout position, and DeBro is now the tailback. And he's got it. Crosses the 15 to the 14-yard line. The clock does not run in the overtime period. They could do this all night if they continue to tie up the score. If you just joined us, we are in overtime. That graphic is wrong. It is second down at the 14-yard line. Frazier.
Fumble. Down to the 1.
Frazier fumbled the football. It was picked up by a lineman.
What else is this game going to have in it?
Chad Dutton.
1 yard from the game being over. The guy who's injured, who misses the second half, comes back. A wonderful run, but loses it only to see his lineman pick it up.
Now, Dutton can advance that football? I guess he can. He did.
He did.
5'10", 220 pounds. I bet he didn't think he'd be running almost for a touchdown tonight.
Biggest carry that he's ever had.
Well, here we are, folks. They are 1 yard away from winning the state championship. The crowd is spent. They don't have any cheers left in them. Ball is on the 1 yard line. It's third down. We are in overtime. Putnam City North hits a field goal on its overtime possession. Westmoore can win the state championship with a touchdown. If they don't get in here, it's decision time for Wayne Estes. He has called a timeout, gathered his team around him. There's number 15, Trent Fisher, player of the game for Putnam City North.
Well, the Cinderella story for the Cinderella team is to give it to Frazier. 2 quarterback sneaks might do it, though.
Frazier.
It comes down to one play.
A goal line stand for Putnam City North. And now what do? Well, you call timeout first. Frazier's down.
Frazier's down, and it looks bad, and it is bad for Westmoore from the standpoint that he will not be in on the play of the year. We've been talking about the play of the game so far, but this is the play of the year, last play of the year.
Well, Dean, they can't kick a field goal. They missed 2 already, and they missed an extra point.
Mick, you know what you run here? You take the snap and you lean forward. It's called an old-fashioned quarterback sneak, and if Putnam City North can stop that, they deserve to win the state championship. You've got a quarterback who's 6'3" and a half and weighs almost 200 pounds, and all he has to do is move forward 1.5 feet.
I'll tell you, one scary thing is when you get down this close, it's so much up to whether an official can see the ball go over, whether he thinks the ball got over or what. See if we can tell what happened to Jeff Frazier. He is stuck hard. Tremendous defensive play Chase McCubbin in there. So was Jason Guy. I'm sure Myron Patton will be checking on the injury to Jeff Frazier. Right now, this is the state championship. They score, they win. They don't score, Putnam City North wins. Quarterback sneak. Putnam City North has won the 1991 state championship 17-14. And we'll be back. Putnam City North has won the 1991 state championship in overtime, defeating Westmoore 17-14. Let's go down the field with Dean.
Thank you, Mick, and I'm with Mike Little. Mike, have you ever been involved in a football game like this?
No, I haven't, man. I'll tell you what, Dean, I'll tell you that's one of the greatest efforts you've ever seen out of a group of kids for an entire season. I tell you what, you know, we had to overcome a lot of obstacles tonight, and I tell you, I can't tell you, to go through a district that's as tough as ours, undefeated, and to go through the playoffs, because we're not just a team that's going to line up and whip somebody right up the line. You've never seen a group of finer kids play a hearts out like this group. If anybody deserved it, these young men did.
How do you stop them on 4th and inches on the final play of the year?
Right. That's what it, you know, you don't want it, but that's a great way to top it off.
All right, Mike, congratulations on your second win. Back to you, Mick.
And Myron Patton is with Wayne Estes. The Westmoore Jaguars had a great season to come back this far. Myron?
Well, Mick, they're getting the trophy presentation right now. We've got all the seniors in here receiving the runner-up trophy. Great game, great performance, great season for Westmoore. I'm going to get the chance to talk to Coach Wayne Estes here in just a second. Coach, going to come here for just a second. This game had everything. Great end to a season. Even though you didn't win it, you got to be proud of your players.
We're real proud of our players. They did a great job. You know, we took it right down there. We went down to win, and we fell an inch short. But, you know, that's what we came for, to win it. And we went for it. You know, those things happen. I think our kids can, you know, they can keep their heads up and accomplish a lot this year. We're very proud of them.
It was a big loss, though, losing Jeff Frazier. Even though he got the 2-point conversion, the fact he was not in there the entire fourth quarter, that really hurt him.
It really was. He's a great athlete when you lose someone like that. Well, Dee filled in for him real good, and, you know, you know, that's one of those things that happen in a ball game like this. That's the first injury we've had, and he came back and caught the 2-point play and put us in the overtime. But, you know, great effort. I thought he was going to break it on that one in the overtime, but things like that happen.
Brian Newberry really stepped up after Frazier went out, and the long drive to tie the score up.
He really did. He stepped in. We had some guys make some great catches. Brian threw the ball real good. So, you know, we gave an effort. We gave a great effort and fell short. And, you know, champions, they've been here before, knew what happened, and they did a great job.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations on your season. Let's go back upstairs to Mick.
All right, Myron, let's quickly go back down to the field where Dean Blevins is standing by. Dean, who do you have?
Well, Mick, I'm with an emotionally spent Trent Fisher. Trent, I don't know that you've ever been in this state before. You're an Arby's player of the game.
I credit my teammates. We're state champs, and we did it together. We're number one.
Mick, well, that's it from down here. Back to you.
Well, numbers can hardly tell the story of this game, but Trent Fisher, 11 carries, 84 yards. He passed for 16 yards. Jake Jensen should get a lot of credit also. He carried 20 times for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brian Newberry played an incredible game for Westmoore tonight. He is too distraught to talk to us right now, which is understandable, but the 6'4", 196-pound senior may have played the game in his life on the last high school football field he ever stepped on. 15 completions for 23 attempts for 211 yards, and he is the Arby's Player of the Game. Also, Powers Autoplex sponsoring our Players of the Game. We'd like to thank Midwest Trophy and Dave Smith for supplying the trophies that are handed out to our outstanding players. Our ground transportation today supplied by Lynn Hickey Dodge. The emotion supplied by many young men playing in the final high school game of the 1991 season as Putnam City North has won the state championship 17-14. For Myron Patton, Dean Blevins, and all of our Five Alive crew, we've had a great time bringing this to you, and I hope you've enjoyed it. This is Mick Cornett signing off from Lewis Field.